paddling across the river. Uh-oh. Go, mate, go. Woken up to this beautiful morning. Finally, we've had a break in the weather by the look of it. Load the boat and head back to our camp where the land cruisers are while we got this good weather window. But we'll probably have fish here this morning because it's super low tide and we can't pull the boat out back at camp till high tide anyway. So we might as well explore around here a little bit more. And I don't feel like I'm quite done. I feel like sitting here having a coffee on the beach, reflecting, a bit of breakfast. Oats have actually gone bad this morning. There's my oats. Every night I do overnight oats, so I do a cup of oats and then just water and sultanas and let it sit overnight. And because we don't have a fridge or anything, they've gone, like first mouthful, they've gone sour, they're gross. So I've got a coconut for breakfast. Dane just had a coconut there next to me. He went for a walk this morning, looked for a mud crab but couldn't find one. But yeah, I haven't worked out this river, which is frustrating me. I always like to get to a new system and work out where the fish, you know, where the best habitat is and the best structure, and this one's weird. Even though we're not chasing barra, I want to know where they are. So yeah, I think we're going to have a flick. I might have a top water flick this morning, which will be fun. Boat sitting there beautifully. Swung nicely overnight. So no stress there. Make a coffee for Dane. And I think we're going to hit the water for a bit. We've worked out the mosquitoes, we know exactly where they are, and the March flies.
I found an extra tube of it.
Really?
Yeah. You can stay another day now.
Oh, they're just everywhere. Everywhere you go. All night long, they're buzzing around the outside of our hammocks. And if you lean against the midgie mesh, they bite you through it.
I leant my head against it and I woke up and I was just bite me forehead through the mesh.
Oh, it's so bad.
Just out.
Alright.
Took me a little bit to get my head off the mesh. Actually, it was like stuck there. There's that me on there.
Cod. Gold spot.
I call an S3 cod.
Yeah?
Yeah.
S3 cod. Okay.
Little. Took the cod lure too.
Alright, we're just chipping away at the snag here. Had a few strikes on that surface lure, but trying to keep the boat in the spot is driving me insane. So I'm going to persist.
Oh! Dropped it!
I've got a theory that you get the big fish on the surface lure because they've got the guts and they've got the guts to come out and hit it hard out of their snag. Dane tried to catch a muddy before with a net. We went in to get a lure out of a snag and there's a muddy just walking the bank in about 300 ml of water. As soon as he saw us, he went a bit deeper. Got your hand in there. Tried with the net, but no success. We're looking for breakfast. We've had a coconut this morning. I'm pretty hungry. So, What is that? Tiny little colourful crabs in there. Look at them bright orange claws. Right, where do you want to go, mate?
Well, now that we're back this way, we could go back.
I think there's a, oh yeah, there's a little one there. You check that one out. There's a bigger one over here. I'll try to go back. Alright, so we're just patrolling the bank here. We're going to flick up in this deep hole in a second, but for now, we just saw the potential for breakfast. Oh, look at this big tree. There's got to be something hanging in there. Yeah, I saw a hole up in there somewhere, and it was up near the top of the bank.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Good hole. Which side of this snag? Oh yeah, yeah. That is fresh. Probably mud crabs in there watching going, what are these guys doing? Hey love, come watch these idiots. Right there next to Dane, you can see there's fresh mud that's been dug out of that hole. Same thing. Oh, this one's big, mate. Same thing with that one there. See, it's a different colour coming out of there. Oh, and another one there, there's 3. So they're fresh digging. Now Dane's going to stick his whole body in there up to about his waist, and he's going to dig out a mud crab for breakfast. Aren't you, mate?
Yeah, mate.
Yes.
Holy hell, it's deep.
That is deep. Yeah, that's about waist, I reckon. Alright, change of plan. Those holes are super deep, but we can't. You didn't feel anything in there? Oh, empty. They might be out hunting or something. So yeah, up to the junction here and drop the pick. Flick some lures around. Guys, sorry to interrupt, but a few of you have been asking about some behind the scenes stuff back here in the shed prepping for season 5. So what do we got? Today's Wednesday. 7 more days till we're off. We're leaving to film season 5 in Cape York. So I thought I'd show you a few things. Got the trailer here that we're doing a few things to, and the quad bike. Now the big boat and the Land Cruiser at Battery World Noosa, so I can't show you them today, but I'll get to them soon and show you what we're doing to that, like a bit of changing lithium around, and lithium's going in the boat, and a few other bits and pieces. But right now I think you guys are up to season 4, and we're up a remote river in far north Queensland, and we're completely out of food. So I think we've spent the morning looking for mud crabs and having a bit of a flick around the mouth, and right now I get a good bite. I think it's only the second cast or something at this spot. I get a good bite, and I'm stoked. Turns out it's not a barra. Although that's all we ever chase, really, as you guys know. It's closed season for barramundi. We're not allowed to catch them. We're not allowed to keep them. We're not allowed to eat them. And it makes everything really challenging. But this fish is a cod. Can't remember if it's a black spot or a gold spot, but they're absolutely delicious. And a lot of fishers disregard them because they think they don't taste that good, and they're not the best fighting fish. But when you're surviving on off the land, they're a delicious fish. If you catch and cook them fresh, they're delicious. So you can see Dane and I are absolutely stoked. Realizing that you've got breakfast, you've got food for the day. So we head back to the beach, and I think between that cod and I think we got another little trevally maybe. We had a good cook up on the beach. Dane cracked a couple of coconuts, and we're just stoked to be eating. You know, we've finally got a bit of sustenance, a bit of energy to get us through the rest of the day.
Pack this up, and
Even the trevally's good.
it is not.
Oh, I'm serious. Eat one of those little bits of trevally. There's a lot of salt on it. I'm not gonna lie.
It is actually.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
We always bag out all these fish like Queenie and trevally and that, but when it's fresh and it's got salt on it, and you're starving, it's really good. Let's try it compared to the cod.
We should just eat it all here.
Yep.
Because then...
Done. Oh, it's delicious. It's as good as the cod. It's different, but it's good, I reckon. We're going to shoot back to camp, way out there in the background, back to the Land Cruisers, which is like base camp, and make a bit of a plan for the next adventure. We didn't really brain it like we thought we would, but I don't know whether it's the moon or what. I don't know, but we didn't really work it out, which is frustrating. But we'll come back when the moon's better. I promise. That's a big log. That's the best snag we've found in 3 days. Hanging off the back, is that just like seaweed or is it part of the log? 6.5. We're going to have a quick troll and then back to the cruisers. Quick one. Oh, that looks good. Look at this, guys. This is what we're looking for. Dane's got the never fail lure out the back, his favourite. That's it. That's all she wrote. Make sure you subscribe. If you guys are after a shirt, www.wildreaches.com. We've got the new season 4 in long sleeve and short sleeve, and the OG in short sleeve and long sleeve, all back in stock. We're just doing black at the moment. If you want another colour, we can definitely do it for you. They're just we just can't stock all the colours, so let me know, send me an email or something. www.wildreaches.com. Crocodiles away anyway. There you go. Packing up camp at the moment. Absolute mission. We've got a broken tinny, we've got a broken quad bike. And the quad bike is essential for putting the tinny on the roof and getting itself back onto the trailer. So season 4 was a bit of a test run for a lot of new toys, new products that we got, like this trailer. Don't know if we did a build sort of like a walkthrough on this trailer, but actually no, I think we did. So jump back a few episodes. I think when we first hit the beach in season 4, I did a bit of a walk around of what's in the boxes and the drawer setups and stuff. But we're going to add a few things to this. But the quad bike broke down, and now the quad bike is essential for quite a few things. 1, getting itself back onto the trailer. 2, getting the tinny back up onto the trailer. So when the quad bike broke down and wouldn't start at all, we had no winch. This caused a lot of dramas. You can see that episode there where we broke down in the middle of the bush. And I've been tossing up whether to sell it and get, go back to a Yamaha, something that I trust. I actually couldn't find one. I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't find a good quad, like a good second-hand quad. And brand new quads, they've actually stopped importing them into Australia because of safety regulations or something. So CF Moto are one of the only companies that are bringing them into Australia. So I've decided to give it a second go. For that reason, that they are one of the only companies that are going to be selling brand new quads in Australia. And I want to give it a proper go. So what I've done, I don't know if I filmed much of this, but what I've done, I've pulled all the plastics off, and any connection, electrical connection like this here, I've taken apart. There were heaps of them, and I've put dielectric grease in them. I've siliconed the back of
the relay box up underneath all the exposed wires. I've now siliconed the back of the fuse box. Just bits and pieces like that to make it a bit more water resistant for season 5. So as you can see here, we struggled to get the quad. Well, we didn't struggle. We just had to come up with an idea of how to get the quad bike back up onto the trailer without the quad's winch. So we've just used the winch from the Troopy. We've hooked up to the Sabre off-road gear. As you can see here, we've used soft shackles, and we've used a lightweight pulley, and we've run it to the Troopy, and we've just basically winched the quad bike back up onto the trailer, which worked quite well. No dramas there, but we then had to get the tinny up onto the trailer. So we've used the same technique basically. We've run the winch from the Troopy through a pulley block up on the top of the trailer, and just winched the tinny back up onto the trailer. It worked quite well. But this trip, the prep that we're doing for this trip now, the trailer's going in to DM Steel on Friday, and he's going to cut these rollers off, one roller there and one roller there, and we're going to put a block about 500mm long and take it up to the height of those front rollers, and we're just going to put nylon on. I think it's called nylon, you know, like your blue rollers, and like you see on your skids on trailers and stuff. We're just going to put that across the top of this. Just with a couple of cleats up each side like guides, and then we can just slam the tinny against it and winch it up and on. It's just going to make it much easier, because at the moment, as you can see, the gunnels are narrower at the front. So when you stand the tinny up, it's really hard to get it in the right position to then roll up and stay on the rollers the whole way. So these guides and just a more basic system, I think, is going to work much better. Now Diesel is also going to be welding up some brackets off here. We're going to do like a tube with another tube inside it that bends out here, and a bit of a brace coming back, and then off that we're going to have a bracket with jerry can mounts, one on each side, and it's going to swing away and then lock in the middle, and we'll be able to fit 4 jerry cans on the back and then 1 jerry can here. That then gives us another 100 litres of fuel, which at the moment I just don't have a good spot to store all the jerry cans. And it also, the trailer was quite heavy at the front with the spare tyre and the box with all the tools and stuff in here, and the fridge on the other side. It was quite heavy, like it's quite far forward of the axle. So putting another 80 kilos way out there off the back, I think will help balance it. So yeah, lots of new bits and pieces going on. Still a bit of work to do to the quad. I've got to put it back together. The cruiser is pretty well good to go. Battery welder, just playing around with a few things, running a few tests. The boat's getting heaps of stuff done to it, so I'll go through all that with you soon. But let's get back to the episode. So we've driven right back down the coast to Cooktown, and as we came into reception, we got all these messages saying that there's a cyclone coming straight at us, and it was obviously from a couple of days prior. So when we were in that river mouth, there was a cyclone coming at us basically. So by the time you guys all see this, you'd be well aware it was Cyclone Kimmy, pretty serious cyclone. It was coming in as a category 2, I think, and as it was coming towards Cooktown, it then veered south and shot down the coast. And luckily at this point, no one's been injured. There's been no damage really. It's stayed off the coast and has now turned into a tropical low. Now Dane and I have hung out in Cooktown for the day, done lots of maintenance on everything and rearranging and all that stuff, which is great. And we've just kept an eye on Bureau of Meteorology and kept talking to people to see what was going to happen with it, to make a plan for the next stage of this season. Now it looks like it's turned into a tropical low. It's staying down south. It could dogleg and come straight back up here. Now that's what they're saying is the most likely event. Come back up here as a tropical low. But we've decided we're going back bush. We're going back up the Cape. We're going to push further, and we're going to get out to some more remote islands. We've got the satellite phone, and that means we can keep in contact with a mate of ours who's going to keep us updated on the cyclone or on this tropical low. This is getting really drawn out, so I'll get into it, keep going quick. So the plan is tonight, it's about 5 o'clock already. We're going to go to some little waterfalls and have a bit of a swim and a freshen up, because we've just been at it all day. It's super sweaty and stinky and dirty. And then we're going to keep pushing north and hopefully get to the first river crossing. We're going to camp on the south side of that river crossing. We're going to have a good look at it and just keep an eye on the river height overnight. Wake up in the morning, check the river height, see if it's going up or down, and decide if it's safe to cross. And then we'll cross that one, hopefully keep going. There's a couple more river crossings we have to get through, and then we're going to get close to the coast. So the plan is to camp on the coast and push out to some islands. Let's get into it. Stop number one, we need to have a wash. So there's some falls around here somewhere. We just crossed the causeway, and there's some, they're pretty big, those falls down there. But I always like to swim on the, especially when you're in the cave, you want to swim on the upper side of the falls.
Very important.
It is quite important. Jump rock, bloody hell!
Oh, wow.
That's mental. How stunning was that place? God, it's good to have a fresh wash like that after spending so long in the salty river and on salty islands and stuff. Really nice to have a scrub down in fresh water. I don't know what this plantation is. Let me know. If you guys know what that is, send me a comment below or send me a message, let me know, because I've got no idea. But over there is beautiful. That's stunning. Alright. Maybe another 30-40 minutes of driving. Take in some of this, you know, the best time of the day. And then we'll set up camp for the night. So we've just arrived at this river. I haven't checked the map yet to see what it is, but check this out. Oh mate, we just passed on a quad bike, has his tinny here. He's about to cross the river on his tinny with all his gear. So I'm going to jump out and have a chat with him, see where he's heading. Dane's going to reverse up, find a camp for us. We've got a good spot just around the corner up here by the look of it. Gonna find camp?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. We're gonna camp out tonight, and he goes old mate now. Paddling across the river.
Look at him go.
Wow, he's got a load on there.
Extra load once he gets on it too, he's a big boy.
He's got it sussed, eh? He's paddling up current, and then into the deep spot, and then he's going for it. Look at that. Uh-oh. Go, mate, go.
Oh, he's nailed it. Not good.
He knows what he's doing. So we're going to cross here in the morning. It's getting a bit late now, you know, if something goes wrong, you don't want shit to go pear-shaped this time of night when it's getting dark. So we're going to cross in the morning, get a good night's sleep, have a feed, maybe get a fire going, keep these mozzies away. And then this will be our last big crossing before we get to the coast in the morning. And hopefully we don't get any rain and it doesn't come up any higher.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm frothing, eh?
Me too. I'm pumped. Another adventure. It's going to be a good one, guys. Alright, let's go find camp.
Yep.
Yep, let's do it.
No worries.
Can't wait for tomorrow. Alright, this is it. This is breakfast and lunch. Bit of cod, bit of trevally. We're just going to pick at that on the way back to camp. Back there in the background. Got nothing left.